Hello and welcome back. We have ourselves our third game of the evening, third and last, to decide which is the second team that moves on from Group C here in the Spring Cup, Uebelst Gaming or Total Aggression, which means that Vool Assassins was not able to win a game in today's group stages. Uebelst, the team that we just saw struggle against Power Rangers, and Total Aggression, the team that we saw struggle to Power Rangers before that game. Both will have a chance to prove their worth here in this last and third game. Of course, once again, I am joined by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome back.
Yep, good to be here. And good to see these teams come through, because I thought Total Aggression, they did pretty well against PR considering.
They did, yes. Considering they are the underdog, considering they are an unknown team. They had a plan. Didn't work out. I mean, otherwise they would have won. But I did definitely saw some potential. Looks like they have got a bit of a plan again. They pick up a Venomancer, a hero that we haven't seen in a long time. But if you pick up a Venomancer this early, then it can't be any other way than you have a plan with it. Of course, with the Agent Operation, you have got the Cold Feet to proc off the Gale. So if a Gale hits, the Cold Feet will proc. That's how that works. However, we've seen a lot of course, Chilling Touch invokers lately more than anything else. In level 1.
Yeah, the scary thing about this, though, I mean, outside of that they do have good combination early on, the scariest thing about these two heroes is the way their ultimates work together. Venomancer, of course, does ridiculous damage over time. Ice Blast from the Ancient Apparition does some pretty good damage over time, but the scary thing is, if you drop too low with it on you, you'll instantly shatter and die. And Venomancer Ancient Apparition, if they get enough early on, it's potential that they can basically team wipe the entire team of Uebelst if they don't have BKBs. It's genuinely that scary, the amount of damage those two can put up together. So, I mean, it's nice what they can do in the early game, but the big thing for them is, can they get some items on them?
And that's, I mean, you can ask that for every hero. Can they get some items on them? But no, you're absolutely right.
Situations where it doesn't matter so much. I think the big thing that Uebelst need to concentrate on in this game is crushing them in the laning stage, because Venomancer and Ancient Apparition are relatively weak in the laning stage. Something Uebelst could do is, I mean, they're okay for ganking people, but say if Uebelst, they pick up like a Bristleback and a Crystal Maiden, or something that can work with that, and they go dual lane versus Total Aggression's defensive tri-lane, say. Those two heroes can't deal with a Bristleback. There's certainly not one supported.
I'm not expecting a Bristleback really, but I get your point, definitely. There's a lot of pressure on Uebelst to not get behind, because the moment that they do, their heroes will just not be able to make it right unless that Batrider is already having a Blink Dagger, which is important. They get a Storm Spirit, which will definitely help get more momentum going in their game. They're up against Mirana, though, which really starts to look like perhaps the start of an aggressive tri-lane. I wouldn't mind seeing that, and I think that's a pretty strong thing to do here. If you're going to be up against a Shadow Shaman support who can't get levels up, well, then your aggressive tri-lane is a success, but it's all going to come down to that carry which Uebelst is going to go for. I mean, in terms of bans, we've got the Juggernaut banned out as well as the Ember. I mean, Ember just one that they don't want to face. Juggernaut, however, a carry that is very strong in the lane. One that you can't really run an aggressive tri-lane against. So perhaps that is what they are planning to here. But we're having to see it still, because we also, of course, don't know yet if Total Aggression is indeed going to go for that aggressive tri-lane. They have the option. They could also just put Mirana mid or Mirana off lane and go for something else entirely. And they select a Viper, which is a hero that does not tell us a single thing, because he can be solo safe lane, he can be mid, he can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, I think the smartest thing about this, I think he'll go mid, and I think the reason he'll do that is because Storm Spirit, he doesn't fall to that Venomancer Ancient Apparition combo in the mid game. The reason because he doesn't fall to it is because, well, he can just evade it. It's very, very easy for a Storm Spirit to evade that. Plus, they don't have a huge amount of stuns, so I think the Viper is going to try and shut down the Storm's early farm. Yeah. And, you know, he's not going to be great at versus him in the mid game. Viper doesn't do anything versus him. Neither does really Veno or Ancient Apparition. But if they can shut down him from farming early on, before he's level 6, then maybe that Storm Spirit won't be so much of a big deal, because otherwise, I mean, Total Aggression, they have one stun right now, well, 2 stuns, but both of them are reliant on hitting somebody who's generally pretty slow. I mean, Mirana's arrow is not likely to hit a Storm Spirit, and Cold Feet is highly unlikely to work on him. And Uebelst here, they're picking another hero that they need hard stuns against. Weaver. This is smart picks by Uebelst. They don't have as much in the way of a concise plan, but these heroes in particular are very good versus Total Aggressions.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And Earthshaker gets removed from the pool as well there by Total Aggression. I'm kind of curious, like, which hero, which most likely has to be a core, will they pick up that can still have a big impact and have a disable? Is that something like a Dragon Knight? I kind of don't like that to be picked up here, because I hope that the Viper is going to be in the middle lane. But I feel like they might be needing to get that, because which other core am I forgetting that has a nice disable to it?
I mean, they could pick something like a Beastmaster. That would be an alternative to the Dragon Knight. They could put it solo safe lane. It'd probably get beaten if Uebelst want to pick something to specifically beat it in lane, but Uebelst, they actually banned the Axe here. That would have been a possibility. They're going to go for Puck, though. I guess that gives them silence versus the Storm Spirit and the Weaver, but I'm not particularly confident in Total Aggression's draft here. They do have ridiculously good mid-game team fight, but Storm Spirit and Weaver don't so much care about what Ancient Apparition and Venomancer put out. And in fact, what most of the heroes put out.
Well, I'm a bit worried for Total Aggression, but we're gonna see it. Uebelst, they're looking strong. I mean, other than being worried for Total Aggression, we can of course be happy for Uebelst that they are having such a solid draft, which is something that they definitely have. They don't use a lot of time in their bonus time so far. Neither team does. Only now is Uebelst really going to tick into it and think about what they're going to pick up last. Their lanes are quite predictable. I mean, having a Batrider off lane, Weaver on the safe lane, I'd say Storm mid, Batrider jungle / off lane, Shadow Shaman support, leaves them for basically... They can pick anything they want. If they want another support, it's possible. If they want another core, it is possible, because then Weaver goes offlane, then there's going to be a different carry, and Batrider can go into the jungle to farm. There are a lot of options which they can still go for here, and they end up going for the Lich. So rather than getting more power to themselves, they're going to take it away from Total Aggression. That's exactly what that Lich does.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart decision to go for. I mean, the good thing that Total Aggression do have is they will do a ridiculous amount of damage if they catch Uebelst in the wrong position, but Uebelst's two most important heroes, the Storm Spirit and the Weaver, are very, very mobile here. And actually, it looks like this might be a solo mid Weaver here, just based on the players, because Arya was the safe lane carry for the last game, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was morphling.
Oh, it's actually going to be off-lane Weaver, and... interesting, it looks like they maybe even leave Alex solo up the top lane.
Shadow Shaman?
It looks like they're trying to dodge Total Aggression here.
No, Alex did spend some gold on boards, at least. I mean, he's had to, otherwise he's got a lot less gold. Let's take a look at who's playing what, and then come to the lanes as well. We'll start on Total Aggression. We've got a different player, I believe, Sava Doom, player that we didn't see in the first game. Am I wrong? Because I recognize this player's name for sure. We didn't see him in game 1. Venomancer he's playing.
Yeah, maybe he's changed his name. I'll look up that while you do the rest of them.
Yeah, Sava Doom will play the Venomancer. We've got Buka playing the Marana. It is an aggressive tri lane, and they will be helped also by the Ancient Apparition played by FMP. In the middle lane, we've got ourselves Failed, who will play the Puck, and then last but not least, it is Edko, who was playing the off lane in the first game that we saw, and he will be taking on the Viper on the solo safe lane for this game.
Yeah, it looks like that is a different player. So, were Total Aggression were previously playing with a stand-in, right?
Yeah,
I think they were. Yeah, so they've got their actual player here, which is Sava Doom. But yeah. Yeah,
I forgot to change overlays. But it's okay. It's just introduction, and nobody died so far, so it's okay.
Yeah, anyway, on the side of Uebelst, it looks like their offlaner for the team, it is going to be Sky here. He's on the Batrider. The solo mid for the team, it's going to be Arya, previously on the carry position, but he's on the Storm Spirit, so in some ways, slightly similar to what he was previously playing. And defensive tri-lane here, pretty interesting defensive tri-lane. They're going to be running with the Weaver, played by W Boy, or Wonder Boy, as he's now being called. Alex is going to be on the Shadow Shaman, and last but not least, Eid is going to be on the Lich. It looks like they're just going to try and deny versus TA and play a very safe tri-lane here. I mean, they have got pretty bad kill potential, but
to be honest, like, isn't this like counterproductive for Uebelst? If they deny creeps, won't that mean that Total Aggression at some point can just dive the tier 1 tower because there's no creeps coming, because this lane will be constantly pushed for Total Aggression? They might get less experience here on the top lane for sure, but they are also going to be given the opportunity to actually dive the tower.
They will have the opportunity to dive the tower, but the thing is there's a lots of different spots in this area for Alex to run away from, and how are they actually going to lock down this Weaver? They don't have any stuns that can lock down this Weaver, really.
This is true.
So, I think this is a smart play by Uebelst here, to put the Weaver in this tri-lane, and then just basically run this very safe tri-lane where Eid is basically not turning up, and wow, it looks like a kill already.
Yeah, but it's an exchange. It's something that, you know, one of those lanes where kill should not happen for a long time, because neither are really able to kill each other without actually dying, and then, you know, both die if one goes, and yeah, the other one goes too. So first blood on the board, and what I want to exchange between the Viper and the Batrider. And of course, the Batrider got the first kill, so he has the upper hand here. As in the middle lane, it is the same kind of situation. Nobody should be able to kill one another off until they are level 6. So I'm just gonna say that I don't expect any kills, but the same thing can of course happen. It's purely because people think that the other one is in theory not able to kill the other one off. Sometimes people just play too aggressive because they think they can't be killed anyway, and that actually gets them killed. As Edco is actually sitting on 7 charges on the sticky napalm. That's a bit scary.
Yeah, I like the way that Sky is trying to play this lane here. He's trying to force the fight because he knows he's almost certainly going to lose the CS war. The problem is that Viper's picked up an early magic wand, and basically that means every time he uses the sticky napalm, it's going to hurt him.
An arrow comes in, hits on the Weaver though, even though Ancient Operation still has to be careful. Alex is going to be in some trouble. His cold feet are going to proc, and it is Wonderboy that is the one to actually die, as well as Alex. At least Alex gets a kill in return for that one. Oh, denied! That's what you can do when there is, of course, a Gale running Eid. Why not running towards the tower? Trying to slow down the Marana, and by trying to dodge that arrow, he actually walked right into that one, so that turns into a 3-man wipe. The entire tri-lane got wiped out. There is 2 survivors on the side of Total Aggression, and one of course is the core, so I think that is something that Total Aggression can be very happy with.
Yeah, and great play by Bukahi. He hit 2 sacred arrows in that fight, I think, so yeah, nice of him to manage to get those both off, and that's pretty much the only situation in which they can actually initiate the fight here. But so Total Aggression already 4-2 here, and that surprises me because it feels like the way Uebelst are laning here, it's like they don't want that many kills on the board, but it ends up being that there's just, you know, a fair number of people dying at 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and with the Gale coming out in the Weaver, as you said, they cannot kill him, but they are stopping him from farming, which is just as important in this lane. In the mid lane so far, Failed sitting on 19-4, Arya sitting on 17-2, so a very even lane, which we knew it was going to be. No real victor just yet. It all comes down to the level 6 and who is going to get the most successful either gank on each other or rotation towards a different lane. As on the bottom lane so far, it is Edco sitting on 15-5, Batrider on 7-0, neither really farming very well. They're all focused on harassment and perhaps trying to force the other one out of the lane and maybe getting another kill going, but neither should be possible at the moment. Even though I would think that Viper would maybe a bit more ahead in last hit side, I was gonna say, but it looks like he is right now very, very dead. Stick charges won't save you from that one, and the teleport is way too late. But you know, you have to try. I get that. Viper dies for the 2nd time this game. With rotation of Lich, of course, make sure that perhaps on the top lane we're gonna see some more aggression. No Lich means maybe go. No? Oh, they pulled.
It maybe means that, but the thing is it's so difficult to actually initiate on a Weaver, especially with these heroes. They basically have to land a 1 in a million arrow, and if the Weaver can see where the Marana is, then he pretty much should never get hit by that arrow.
Yeah.
It has to be an arrow through the trees, or, you know, from an angle he's not expecting it to come out. Maybe even, you know, something like that sort of angle. That would be, you know, not a bad position to throw it from, but yeah, it's incredibly hard to actually hit this Weaver, and looks like Alex has actually gone to the mid lane here. I guess they're just leaving the Weaver up top, but they're trying to get a gank on this puck here. They'll manage it if they manage to get the shackles off early enough, but that's going to be pretty hard. It's only level 1
shackle though. But they have a shackle and a vortex. They can start off with a vortex, but there's going to be 2 supports coming there from Uebelst as well. So we'll see which one is the one to be in favor. It all comes down to initiation. The silence is there first, the dream coil as well. The shackle might still be there as well as the vortex, and failed still dies. But it is Alex that will be dying straight after because the supports are doing work. The chilling touch is absolutely reckoning, and that is going to be 2 kills, 3 across the board if you count the Weaver that just died on the top lane to the Mirana. As well as we have Viper dying at the same... Can people stop dying at the same time? That is really annoying for trying to not miss kills. But Sky got a kill on the Viper with the lasso used, and it was a kill on Viper, as said. So, you know, I think we can say that all cores, apart from Batrider, died. And Mirana didn't die either.
Yeah, and the surprising thing for me is that this Weaver died solo to the Mirana here. I mean... I don't think that should ever really happen in the laning stage. Maybe because just an absolute amazing arrow thrower, or maybe W-Boy's just sort of running into these.
Uh-oh. Petco is in some trouble. Invisibility rune for Batrider allows him to set up for a gank with the Lich in tow as well. That's going to be a slowed down Viper with sticky napalm charges and a dead Viper indeed.
Yeah, and top lane almost going down is Bakar. He was initiated up on by Arya, but able to get off the Moonlight Shadow early on in the gank, so he just ended up walking out of there, but that was a pretty close one. Either way, TotalAggression, yeah, they lose their Viper again, and this Batrider is actually getting a pretty damn fast Blink Dagger at this point. He's going to be picking up before the 8-minute mark.
Alex trying to do what he can. He'll still die to the Puck as Puck actually gets a double kill because Lich teleported in, and we just went down with the ship. No return kill this time for Uebelst, who just lost their 2 supports in mid lane and just trying to get some experience going, but no can't do. By the way, this Viper only is gonna reach level 6 like right now. It's a very slow level 6 for a safe lane Viper. He's died 4 times out of the 6 kills that Uebelst has. This is 4 times on the Viper. That is pretty deadly as Storm jumps in. Very low in health already though. Fails. Might just get a return kill here. Couple of hits needed. No more mana for Storm. And it is Storm that dies. And Puck to get out alive. Where's that AA ult gonna fly to?
Surprising kill there. Not sure why that AA ult is being used. But yeah, for the moment, Uebelst, they are mostly losing control of this game though. Because the thing is all of their heroes are getting deaths at some point. Batrider's the only one with only 1. Everybody else has got 2, and Shadow Shaman has actually got 3. The thing is TotalAggression, they might be behind. They might have a fair number of kills being gone on them as well, but like you said, they're pretty much all on this Viper, and actually he's going to be going down again here.
Well, this poor guy, he's like target number 1. He will indeed die. Maybe Agent Deprivation can actually get a return kill. That Batrider is pretty close to shattering with that poison ticking out as well. Yeah, he will shatter. Gone. Nicely done for FMP. I mean, it's a 1-on-1 trade with a 3-on-1 initiation from Uebelst. That's not what they were waiting for, not at all. Batrider at least has his Blink Dagger. Perhaps able to make something more happen. Yeah.
These 2 just smoked up under ward, so this is a potentially pretty dangerous situation. It looks like they're going to try and go onto the Puck in the middle lane here, fail it, but the Storm Spirit, he's pretty well behind here as well actually. Only 0-2 and 1, and he was losing the lane slightly beforehand, so he's struggling a little bit. He's going to go into 2 of them.
Yeah, he's going to orb right into Alex and Eat, and that's going to be dead Puck. Apparently not really all too much aware of the map and their smokes. As a Puck actually gives away a killing
Alex
spree.
Goes down.
Ancient Apparition still comes in with the ult. Nicely done. No other kills though. Nobody else is going to shatter. In the meantime, the Venomancer is doing some work here on the top lane. Venomancer Mirana, they actually were able to take down the tier 2 tower to already 380 health, and that is going to be very fast. I mean, so far there's no other towers going down on the map, but that top lane has been pushed out quite substantially as an arrow actually lands on Storm, and Storm actually will die. Because of that, killing spree now for this Mirana, who's 301.
Yeah, I think Arya was maybe a little bit busy bottle crowing.
Mega teleports incoming. Is going to be a Lich Ultimate bouncing around as well. Bet and Mirana so far the 2 to die. We're going to have them joined by the Venomancer. The ult bouncing onto Agent Deprivation multiple times. 3-on-3. Make that 3-on-4 as Fails gets a kill. 4-on-4. 2 heroes left alive. Viper and Weaver. Weaver is not even there, and Viper only came in just now. So basically everybody died.
What a massacre that fight was. I mean, everybody committed when they basically weren't ready to.
You've got so much AoE damage coming in as well with the Lich Ultimate, and then on the other side you've got the A Ultimate and everything else in the Puck as well, and this Level 3 already on the Ether Shock as well. That was a bit crazy and not worth it for either side.
No, absolutely
Maybe for
not
Edgo
at
it
this
was
point.
worth it. He actually got a tower. It's like, yay.
Yeah, he's finally getting some gold up here, but he's still going to be well behind. I guess he's going to be working towards a mech as his next item, but he's just buying treads now because he just needs the raw
HP. Already
HP.
has a mech.
What ancient? What?
He's
That's an ancient
rich.
apparition with a 10-minute mech. This is incredibly rich for a support. Is he? Yeah, he's above the. No, he's not even above the net worth of Edco. So
Close.
surprised he managed
He's
to get that
above
first,
the,
but yeah, he's
Storm,
very
though.
close. He's above the Storm Spirit. Yeah. And that's the real issue right now for Uebelst, is they just have no farm on any of their heroes. The only one with anything is Batrider, and he's just an initiator. He doesn't actually have, you know, much in the way of sustained damage. I mean, I guess Firefly can do a fair amount if you have a lot of sticky napalm on people and they stand in it all day, but that's not really a situation that's going to happen very often. The Weaver is right down at the bottom for this. Admittedly, he's got some stuff on the Courier, so... But that's actually just boots, so yeah, he's right down at the bottom, basically, as far as net worth, and the same can be said of the Storm Spirit. Neither of them getting anything right now.
Yeah, now with the Blink Dagger on the Puck, it's not going to get any easier. That means that if there's a Weaver visible, Puck can jump in and silence, and there's no way for him to run in his Shikushi because he won't be able to press his W because he would be silenced. And overall, I mean, yeah, Batrider is the one to try and pull this back, but is it really possible? We just saw him jump in, and there is so much AoE damage coming out overall that, like, it's very difficult for him to actually get something going. What's Batrider
Yeah,
doing?
I think the big thing is, I mean, Weaver and Storm Spirit, they're both heroes who are fairly capable without, you know, much in the way of items, but both of them really need at least one core item to do something. Storm Spirit, at the very least, would like some treads. He doesn't even have that. He's just going to be getting them now.
And with, by the way, with the Blink Dagger, the Puck was able to just get the kill on the Weaver. It was a solo kill as well, but you can imagine blinking, silencing. There's no way for Weaver to run, as it is also going to be Puck that has nowhere to run. His ult, Mirana's ult, is going to try to help out, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He tries to, and it looks like he's out safe. Yeah, he is home safe. Moonlight Shadow backing his escape. Well, I thought it was going to be escape, but it looks like we're going to see him sticking around because he's getting some backup. We've got ourselves a Venomancer and an Ancient Apparition coming in to help. Let's see if they can take one down. Jumping forward, silencing up, even Dream Coil used. And the Storm is already dead. Weaver comes back in though. More teleports coming in for Uebelst. The Swarm comes through, seeing if he can get some extra vision going, but everybody is able to dodge it. Now the rest of the team of Total Aggression is here, and they're looking for more. Finding Alex. Alex is going to be the first one to go down here, as it is Batrider that will join him in the grave. 20 for 12, as Lich lets out his ultimate, gets a kill with that, maybe even two indeed. He sets up for the Viper to get killed, and it's Weaver that actually gets his kill. Nicely done, his first kill of the game. Arrow will miss as Buka is trying to get something going here, is trying to end this fight on a win. It has failed to, is forced to jump out of this fight though. Too much harassment coming for him. Doom, Sava Doom still here, lands a Poison Nova, gets it on the Storm, but Storm able to zip and get out enough damage to take care of that Venomancer. The Mirana is the last one to get out of this fight. In the end,
But
it turned into an
is
even
ticking down here.
trade.
Oh, he's just about going to survive, actually.
Yeah, he is. Bottle Charge is helping out as well. Unless an ult comes, which is actually on its way.
Where's the party?
We're following it.
Oh, this could be dangerous. Yeah, he's going to dodge it. He knows
he
what's
dodged.
coming, but...
Good job for him. But, I mean, that fight, it started out really well for Total Aggression. In the end, Uebelst came back a bit. I still would say that Total Aggression got the victory there for them, as they were the ones to get out with 2 of their cores alive and get most of the experience for most of their team.
Yeah, I think that was a big win for Uebelst there. They lost a fair number of people, but so did TA, and like you said, they got golden experience on their core heroes.
And they're
This is
gonna
not a
get
win
2
for
extra
them.
kills. Nope, there's not a win for them at all. Batrider was actually the one to initiate this, but he's gonna regret that, as he's gonna be the 3rd one to fall. That is a pretty deadly initiation from Batrider, who still is the one to come back into this game, or at least the one to be creating the comeback for Uebelst into this game. He is now below the Venomancer. Venomancer is higher in net worth than the Viper, by the way. I just want to point that out. He's sitting on 2200 gold. And both Viper and Venomancer are now higher than the Batrider again, even though Batrider was doing such a good job against Viper in that bottom lane so early on in the game. But we have the gold graph, 12k in favor of Total Aggression, 7,500 in favor in terms of experience, which comes down to having 3 heroes that are higher than level 11 on their side, with only Lich, the support Lich from Uebelst, being level 11 on their side, which is a big deal. I mean, he has got his level 2 of Chain Frost, but it's not enough. Batrider, Storm, they want to have their level 11 too.
Yeah, and I mean, Total Aggression's name, they're living up to it right now, because they're just constantly fighting. It's created absolute chaos, not just on the map, but I mean, like you said, the net worth is all over the place right now. People who, you know, previously were doing great are now doing pretty meh, and people who you'd expect to be doing a lot better are getting crushed, so I mean, it seems to be working for them right now, but maybe it won't be as useful versus a more mature team and a more experienced team, but it's doing well versus Uebelst at the moment. I think that's the important thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the best of ones.
Farm.
Of course, I mean, what comes after is for a later date. For now, they just want to get the win in and want to make those playoffs. Of course, those are the ones that are at stake for this best of one. This is Group C for the Spring Cup, and the win here indeed will mean that they can continue in the Spring Cup. Even if you lose, you know, you're out, you don't do anything anymore, you're just a spectator if you want to be, as we do have maybe Uebelst trying to fight this. Nah, they back off. They're gonna try to split push a bit with the Weaver on the top lane. Only one tier 2 tower left standing on the side of Uebelst. We also still have Roshan up. Of course, logical proceedings is take down the tier 2 tower and then go for the Roshan, go high ground. I wouldn't be surprised to see that coming out here from Total Aggression. It's pretty textbook, but I mean, they're ahead. Really, what's going to stop them?
Yeah, there's nothing that really can stop them at this point. Maybe if they, you know, the big thing that's been doing a lot of work for Uebelst in the last couple of fights has been the Chain Frost, and they've also picked up a mech on the Lich. So Lich is actually a very important asset to Uebelst in these games, because the thing is, Total Aggression, they're playing very aggressively, they're basically jumping on them as 5, so that Lich ult, it is able to do more, it's able to bounce around more. That's the thing about Chain Frost, is if you are grouped up, it will do a ton. If you are spread out, it will do nothing, basically. It basically ends up just being a 300 damage or 400 damage nuke, whatever level you're at. But yeah, I think for the moment, Uebelst, they'll just try and find what farm they can whilst Total Aggression are taking out the remaining towers, but it looks actually like they're going to try and defend this tier 1 bot. This is crazy.
Yeah. Moonlight Shadow is already on. The Uebelst players already looking to back off. Maybe Sky finds himself a good lasso. Looks for a target. It is an arrow that already hits on the Shadow Shaman, so he can't really follow up. Still taking a lot of damage from the poison, but it's Edco that is the one to die. I mean, he's died already so much. This game doesn't really make that big of a difference, even though they also were able to take down the Venomancer, who was not able to teleport to the rest of his team. Venomancer died in the middle lane. Alex is still in some trouble though. I'm not sure why he continues forward, as he will get picked up. I feel like he could have backed off at any point there, but in the end, he still dies, and it looks like Ede is going to try to teleport out. The Flame Break is going to try to help him out with that, but he's still interrupted, still will get picked up. The Chain Frost not bouncing around enough to actually get a kill, and that is a 2-for-2 exchange overall, which I would actually put in favor of Total Aggression, because they, even though they got only 2 supports, they got 2 very important supports, and they defend their tier 1 tower. By the way, none of their towers so far has taken a fall.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing for them to do at this point, because the thing is whilst this gold is very much in favor of TA right now, a lot of it is actually in those towers, and if Uebelst get the opportunity to get 1 or 2 towers in a row, they'll suddenly spike up and jump up a lot, and you know, those important items like an Orchid on Storm could go from, you know, being at completely miles away and you'd never expect him to get it for a while in this game to he suddenly has one, or they suddenly have, you know, a Lincoln Sphere on the Weaver. And items like that can make a big difference in a game like this where nobody is, you know, super farmed or anything. I mean, the Mirana's picked up a Yasha and looks like she's actually going back to turn this this Ultimate Orb into her own Lincolns, but yeah, I mean, I think the thing is any small items right now for this team could mean a huge amount for Uebelst, because the thing is, even Total Aggression aren't that farmed. I mean, look at Edco, he's still not got his Aghanim Scepter. I mean, the supports have a fair amount of the farm on the side of Total Aggression, and that doesn't kind of mean as much as far as damage is concerned, at the very least.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with Alex, who was sitting on that bottom lane for a while, but it looks like he still really wants to get the tower. He's gonna risk his life for this. I think he can though, because Roshan is being attempted at the same point as Bedrider is getting ready to steal that Aegis. Let's see if he can make it happen. He has a vision. He shows that he's there though. He actually went for an auto attack and he will be forced to dodge an arrow, even though Lich is not gonna be able to do that. But that auto attack on that one Plague Ward actually got him visible, and therefore he can't try to get the Aegis, which is given to the Viper. A very good choice, because so far he has died quite a bit. However, Alex was able to take down the tower, so Uebelst does get something in return for that Roshan.
Yeah, and I mean, at the very least, the Uebelst, they do get that tier 1 tower, but they've used up Mass Serpent Wards, so that's a huge part of their team fight at this point, because like I said, they don't have too much in the way of items. They're reliant a lot on what their supports can do in these fights, so I'm still very worried for Total Aggression at this point. This Puck, in particular, is way ahead of anybody on the side of Uebelst, and is currently just basically toying with the Weaver there.
The only thing that he lacks is a gem. That's something that Uebelst could definitely use to just get rid of the control of Uebelst completely and make sure that that Weaver has got no place to go anywhere at any time. As there is a smoke up for Uebelst here on the bottom lane. They know Viper was farming there because, I mean, there was a creep wave and they saw him. Alex was still around there. Viper now gets rid of, or gets out of the jungle though, and therefore that smoke gank will not result into any deaths on the side of Total Aggression, at least not yet. We've got Total Aggression pressuring in the top lane a bit again, as they are there with 3. I mean, yeah, they've just got control. Total Aggression, total control. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this map is pretty much theirs at the moment. Uebelst, they're just trying to avoid them, and they're going onto the bottom lane to do this, but in the meantime, that doesn't matter, because Total Aggression, they say, fine, we've got a huge item advantage, we're going to go high ground against you. And there's not much that Uebelst can do here. Like I said before, they're very reliant on this Lich ultimate doing a ton of damage, and wait, it looks like Phalix, he really wants the Lich.
Yeah, he really wants to play aggressive. He blinked back afterwards, but looking for a way in is what he's doing. His Linkens is already popped though, that was just by Nova. Frost Blast. Nova, as it is Bedrider that tries to jump in, can't really get his initiation going though, and actually look at that damage. That is a kill just from an arrow, and from of course the Aghanimed Viper strike. The tier 3 tower now dead as well. Still Edgo takes a lot of damage, but he has got an Aegis, so he's not too worried about this. And why not just continue going? I mean, really, what's gonna force them out? Bedrider is the one initiator that can totally wreck their team apart, as it is Fails that jumps in, gets a 2-man Dream Coil. Wonderboy already dropped down. Arya forced to zip himself out as his supports drop left and right. Alex still alive for the moment, but Puck looks to be wanting to finish him off. Jumps forward though, and it is the ward from the Venomancer that gets the kill on the Shadow Shaman, and actually Storm still ended up dead. We have Eid as the last one alive here on the side of Total Aggression, as the tier 1 Rex, on the or top lane Rex rather, are already dead. Tier 3 mid are going to be the next target. Blink Lasso, they get failed. But seriously, where's the follow-up damage? It's just not there. 1 dead, 2 dead, that's another team wipe, and I think we're gonna see the GG called. Yeah, that was a pretty strong performance. To be honest, a different result today than I was expecting.
Yeah, very different than I was expecting. I'm surprised we didn't even get to see Vul Assassins today. Apparently MMR means nothing. Because if you see, Wagger's got like the highest MMR I've ever seen right now.
Yeah,
he's almost at 6.9k.
Oh, higher.
No, he's almost at 6.9k. He ended up, I think he peaked today on 6,850 or something, but yeah, his team doesn't even make it this far, and Total Aggression, they actually beat out Uebelst, I mean, in a very convincing manner as well, actually. Total Aggression, this game, looked hugely different from the game versus PR.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's promising. If you see a team like this, it's refreshing seeing them play as well as they did. You already mentioned it though, that the strategy that they went for might not be as successful against a more mature team if they play it the same way. But you don't have to worry about that in the tournament, not yet anyway. For now, you can just play what you're strongest at, and I mean, it worked out. It was a brilliant showing, 23-minute game, so no mercy from Total Aggression, and congratulations to them, because they joined Power Rangers, they joined House of Gamers, as well as the Balkan Bears, and the teams that qualified yesterday, which I mentioned in the previous game, but I got a total blank for now. But now you can't remember them all. So, yeah, yesterday's games, those were those. Next, please, as well as the team that Next Please Gaming was up against first yesterday, which was...
Was a team.
Was it?
I can't remember the name of that team.
Why can't
Give
you
me a
remember?
second.
You actually have, you know, you have the chance to... it was Goomba, of course. It were the Germans. Goomba. Goomba, Next Please, Power Rangers, Total Aggression, Balkan Bears, and, of course, the first qualified team, House of Gamers. So, stick with us if you want to support, because you can watch some commercials, but other than that, that is it for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with Group D, our last group, as the last 2 contestants for the playoffs will be decided. It is going to be Can't Describe, Maven, Tricked, and TCN that are going to be the teams to be competing there for the last group in this tournament. Tune back in tomorrow, and any final shoutouts and plugins before we go?
I mean, yeah, just plug my stream as usual. If you want to come watch me, I'm twitch.tv/setmygibs. My name's GAdvance. And thank you very much for having me on again. I'm pretty enjoying these games, and pretty enjoying this tournament so far.
Yeah, it's been a nice one for sure. Getting to know a bit more of the amateur scene as well is always something that I enjoy doing personally. So that's good. We're gonna see yourselves more games tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. There you go. It's late. I am, you know, messing up my language and stuff. Anyways, tune in tomorrow, and we'll be back then. Thank you for watching.